Today on Karamo.
He was raising her. That's who he raised.
It's a truly unbelievable situation.
The only father I knew for 26 years. And he said that he had doubts about me being his child.
Is the child he raised his biological daughter?
Graduations, college,
Because-
and you've been there for me. Why be there for me?
I always had doubts.
This is your mother, correct?
Yes, sir.
A DNA test will be unlocked,
What is confusing for me is being there for 23 years.
You need to know.
which will prove whether or not this man is her father.
Is there any chance that there could be anyone else?
I hate to say it, Shay, but you're not my daughter.
Plus,
Recorded him having sex.
On our couch.
can this relationship be saved?
I unconditionally love my husband.
Or should they end it right here
Have you thought about divorce?
and now?
My guest Shay had an unbreakable bond with Darren, the man she believed to be her father, until a phone call changed her life forever. Darren called to say he may not be her father, and for the last 15 years, this mystery has torn their family apart. Today, the DNA truth will finally be revealed. But first, everyone, please welcome Shay to the show. How are you? May I have a hug?
How are you? Yes.
You look beautiful.
Thank you. You as well.
Thank you. Okay, so your father, the man you were raised with,
Yes, sir.
everything's great. And then he gets a call. And when he picked up that call, what was said?
So he called me and he said that he had doubts about me being his child. Now, this is my father, I believe wholeheartedly, the only father I know for 26 years, you know, been there since birth and before.
Yes.
He said that he went out with a friend for drinks and that they told him that I was not his child and that he wanted a DNA test and that he believed that another man was my father.
What was your reaction when he said that?
My reaction was, I just felt betrayed, heartbroken. It was very devastating. Like I said, this is the only guy that I know to be my father, the only father that I know 26 years, and I feel like he should have defended me. He should have stood up for me, you know.
Yeah, like, why are you letting a rumor ruin our family?
Exactly.
Makes sense
you know,
to me.
Definitely letting a rumor ruin our family. And before, I've had heard some rumors in the past from the same group of people that he went out with. I just felt like it was jealousy towards my mom because my mom and my dad were together. They were in a relationship, and then up until I was about 6, they split, and that's when the rumors started coming.
So how old were you at the time that you got this call from your dad?
That I got this phone call, I was 23.
So this is only 3 years ago. So
Yes,
this
sir.
is recent.
2020.
Wow.
July
okay,
7th.
then. You said you had heard other people say this as well.
Yeah, I heard rumors like through the grapevine. He has other children, and there's possibilities out there, and that's where those rumors come from. A lot of people be like, well, some people that believe they have children by him, they are always like, well, we don't think you're his child. I'm supposed to be his oldest child. I am his oldest child. I'm the oldest of 8 children. And that's all I know, you know. So I just felt like it was some jealousy and some, you know, they didn't feel like their children were being accepted, so they just kind of pushed it off on me.
Of course.
Type thing, yeah.
You know, this is one of the things I got to say to adults out there, because sometimes we forget that, like, adults, we like to sit and talk and, like, gossip about things, and you never remember or understand how it's affecting that child who's hearing this. We had this in my family, too. And so we have to be conscious as adults of what we're doing and what we're saying, especially around children.
Absolutely.
I think it's just important to put that out there.
Yes.
So my producer told me that some of these rumors might have been based on your complexion.
Yes, so my father, he is a very yellow man. He's light-skinned. And a lot of his children, there's like so 4 of us are dark-skinned, my complexion, and then 4 of them are light-skinned, like his complexion. And so the first one that I heard that there was doubt about was my little sister. She's the same complexion as me. I was about 11 when I heard my grandma saying, that's not my grandbaby, you know, she don't look like me, she too dark-skinned. So instantly, I never heard my grandma say anything about me not being his, but when I heard that, it made me feel like, okay, that's what a doubt is, because I'm dark-skinned. You know, I'm sorry, you guys, but it's like, you know, I'm dark-skinned, thank you. So that's why I feel like he was doubting me. I felt like if I was maybe hot yellow or his complexion, I probably would be more accepted.
Come on, black folks, we gotta do better than that with this. It's a narrative I'm just so tired of, right?
Absolutely.
It's like, I don't know how often we got to keep saying to each other, we come in all different shades and complexions, and I don't know why we keep creating this narrative that came from, we know the system it came from, slavery, and from, the suppression, and then we just keep putting it on each other, and I'm so sorry you had to deal with that. How did your father treat you as an adult, though, once he said this at 23?
He treated me well. It just, once that conversation happened, I kind of took a step. We talk every day, we hang out every day. We were very close. So this was like shocking, unusual. I really couldn't believe that he was saying these words to me. So I just kind of took a step back. I called my mom, and I was in tears. And I'm like, Mom, guess what he just said to me? She hung up on me instantly, and I believe she called him. We had a good relationship. He treated me well. He's still there to this day, but I did take a step back from that, and I just feel some type of way.
This is your mother, correct?
Yes, sir.
Your name is Letitia, right? Letitia?
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
You as well. When she gave me the phone call, I was actually driving.
Uh-huh.
And I almost ran into a truck.
Oh.
Like, me and this man, almost 30 years, friends. And then had a child, and this is how you do her, yeah. So.
And when you got off the phone, you called him. What did he say?
A whole lot.
I can see how you acting. I know you cussed his ass out. I can tell. I can see it. You looking like
I'm sorry, guys, but yeah, he said he didn't say it, then he did say it, and then we just went back and forth.
Yeah. And I know that had to break your heart. And not only just for your daughter, but like you said, 30 years of a friendship.
Yes.
And for that to happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, from someone else, though. Not from you, from someone else telling you something.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, no, that's just not cool. It's not right.
So, I'm going to have to ask, just because we are here doing this, and it's not that I doubt anyone, but is there any chance that there could be anyone else that is her father?
Don't go away.
I hate to say it, Shay, but you're not my daughter.
A DNA test will be unlocked,
Graduations, college,
Because-
you've been there for me. Why be there for me?
which will prove whether or not this man is her father. Plus,
Recorded him having sex.
On our couch.
one marriage in serious trouble.
My guest, Shay, had an unbreakable bond with Darren, the man she believed to be her father, until a phone call changed her life forever.
So he called me, and he said he went out with a friend for drinks, and that they told him that I was not his child, and that he wanted a DNA test. I just felt betrayed, heartbroken.
This is your mother, correct?
Yes, sir.
Is there any chance that there could be anyone else that is her father?
No.
No,
None
no
at
chance
all.
at all.
Not a chance in hell.
Okay, then. Okay, she said not now. Okay. Thank you, Letitia. I really appreciate that. So my producer told me your father recently called you about a dream?
Yes, so last Thursday we were talking. These comments have been surfacing, since that phone call. Sometimes they're like urgent, sometimes they're not. So I've been keeping my distance. But he called me Thursday and we were talking about the show and everything. I was just telling him how I felt. And he goes, well, I came to the understanding that I have automatic children and I have biological children. So I said, Dad, what does that mean? Now make it make sense. I'm trying to get clarity about this because, wait a minute. So I'm like, well, who's automatic? He started naming, who's automatic. He didn't say me. So I said, well, Dad, who's my father? So he gave me another man's name. I never heard of this man before. Random, never heard of this man, his name. It threw me for a loop. So we started to argue. I asked him to elaborate more on why did he believe this man was my father and all of this. Like I was talking about my mom. He said that God showed him that this man was my father. So I said, okay, we're gonna take this test. And I asked him, I said, once this test come back, because I believe wholeheartedly he's my dad. I know he's my dad. I said, once this test comes back and it proves that you're my father, will you still doubt me? He said, no, God will show me something else. So I'm waiting to see what God gonna show him today. I hope he deliver him,
Had your mother ever heard that other man's name before that he told you?
Yes, they were all friends at a point in time.
Oh.
Yep.
So the man that he talked about, you had known?
Yes, sir.
Who was this man to
we
you?
used to just a friend.
Why did you two break up?
Cheating.
Cheating?
Yeah.
Him cheating?
Him cheating.
Him cheating?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I got 5 years over there. So that played a part. You know, I was pregnant with her. I felt like he needed to grow up. It was so much going on, and so we had a great breakup.
But that makes sense that the infidelity on his part, sometimes people will project if they're feeling this experience, but you know. So what for you today is on the line?
It's all on the line. I've been so emotional. I'm an adult now, but it's really emotional. My heart is on the line.
Yeah.
I wanna
Well, everyone,
get out.
please welcome Darren to the show, who believes, the man Shay believes is her biological father. How you doing, Darren?
What's up, Ron?
How you doing, sir?
No good yourself.
So I have to ask you, what do you feel about what was said?
I hate to say it, Shay, but you're not my daughter. I just don't believe you're my daughter-in-law.
What?
So, Dad, why you been here like this? Like, I don't get it. Why you been here? I feel like you coming on this show to, like,
No.
make a fool out of us. You
Absolutely
clowning.
not. I you know, when I met your mom, I was a young man, and I was always taught to be a man. So, you know, when she said she was pregnant, I just stepped up and was a man, but I always had doubts. I have a half a dozen reasons on why, not just because of your complexion or how you look.
You can stand for me.
I got a half a dozen reasons.
Darren, when I found out I was pregnant, I was 11
She looks
days.
nothing like me, though.
11 days.
11
days. 11 days. If they'd
I
have
was
told
in the
me
Bahamas.
anything 3 months or so, then I would have doubted it as well.
I come back
Stop
from the
playing with me,
Bahamas, I
Darren.
popped you
Stop
once.
playing. 11
and
days.
you
There
said that
shouldn't
I
have
had
been
a
no doubt.
baby. You know
None.
what I'm saying?
None, Darren.
One time
No.
I
So,
popped
Dad,
you.
why have you
None.
been here this whole time? Like, why wouldn't you been say you had doubts? You waited till I was
Man,
like
I mean,
23.
listen, through the years, I done told you little things to kind
Dad,
of give you
What ha-
intuition and, you know,
have
just to
not
get
told
your
me.
own mind. I thought
when
you
I was 23, you told me. Before that,
Well,
you
listen,
haven't said
you know,
anything.
That's because
And you've been there for me. Like, why be there for me? You've
It's
been
not-
there.
it's not
You've been
that.
there for my kids. You've been there for me since day one. Graduations, college, car. Like, why do all that?
hey, that's just part of a
It's
man's
not
job.
about being a man.
It's part of a man's job.
Oh,
I just
that's
came
bull.
here just to get the actual facts because, you
I
know.
feel like you
So
on
can I
here
ask you
faking.
something? Because if you know that this young woman, if Shay is your daughter that you've raised,
Yeah.
whether she's biological or not, knowing you saying that you're not my daughter is going to hurt her, why not get the facts first before you start saying that?
You know?
Is all I'm asking.
Yeah,
Because
okay.
for me, if I had doubts, I
Yeah.
would get the facts
Okay,
first
so-
before I would start hurting my daughter.
So I've had over a dozen,
potential daughter.
DNA tests from all my children and different agencies, not just the state, private companies and whatnot. And I've asked her, you know, at the time, you know, I told Tish, but she always felt like she was never a cheater, you know, even though she might have been thotty to me, you know what I'm saying?
See,
You know what I'm talking about? But
And
she
then-
always, you know, so you just gotta buy what people say.
he's putting another narrative on her. I trust her.
Multiple narratives.
Both of them been here with me since day one. My mom, she's not a hoe, she's not a thought, she's not a whore, she's not none of that. She's not none of that. You say you
Not
doubted
anymore.
me. You say you doubt me. You calling her a liar. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
just
Not anymore.
And this is just
but, you know.
like recent.
Have you ever raised children, other children that you realized later were not yours?
Praise all my children.
No,
I'm
he
not
hasn't.
playing
No,
with
he
all my
hasn't.
children.
He's there for them, but he hasn't raised them. He was raising her. That's who he raised.
This is my only child that I don't have a DNA test on.
Is the child he raised his biological daughter?
You need to know.
Everyone is about to finally learn the DNA truth. Plus,
All of the infidelity happened in the home.
one marriage in serious trouble.
Have you thought about divorce?
You are the five. Get off my stage.
So I said, well, Dad, who's my father? So he gave me another man's name. I never heard of this man before. I've been so emotional. I'm an adult now, but my heart is on the line.
Well, everyone, please welcome Darren. What do you feel about what was said?
I hate to say it, Shay, but you're not my daughter. I just don't believe you're my daughter-in-law.
Have you ever raised children, other children that you realized later were not yours?
Praise all my children.
No, he hasn't. He was raising her. That's who he raised.
And I just don't understand why you denying me now. Like,
Well, I'm
we didn't
saying-
even have to come on here for you
I'm
to
saying
tell me
there's
that.
so
You could
many
have been
things
said
up.
that, Dad.
So you have other children that you found out later may not be yours.
That's correct.
Okay, then. Got it.
That I know for a fact.
so
This
you-
is my only child that I don't have a DNA test on.
That's a
That's
lie.
not
That's
true.
a lie.
That's not true.
There's
That
two
is
other
true.
ones.
It's a lot
But
of
go
us.
back
We
to
all
the
dark
prosecutor.
skinned.
The
Speculate.
prosecutor-
No,
three
I
of
would
us.
you to come on
True.
stage because you're part of the story too. Please come on here.
I'm sorry.
You sit right in the middle. Yes.
So the prosecutor was talking about there's never been a DNA. So
Yes.
first of all, second of all, I went to the child support and had child support dropped off of this man when his child was 8 years old. The judge looked at me and said,
It didn't work
was
like
I
that.
being threatened?
The magistrate
No, I'm not.
doesn't
He's
work like
taking
that.
care of his
They
child.
removed the child
So-
because
No.
obviously there's
No.
a discrepancy in the test.
No, there was never
There
a test.
was no
come on.
test.
There was never a
Let's be
test. I don't
clear,
know where
yo.
this coming from.
Got it.
Okay?
Got it. She
I
said
say,
it
you
3 times.
hurting me. This is hurting me.
Listen,
like,
love,
this
I
is
ain't trying to,
painful.
I ain't never trying to hurt you,
All
but
these
the
people
facts need to
looking at
come
me.
out. You need to know. I look at my grandbabies and I'll be like, damn, man.
Well, I
is he
wish
really
you would
my
have said that
grandbaby?
before we got on this show.
Baby,
I really
don't cry. Let's get the test.
So my producers told me that you recently came to a lot of money. Is that true?
Man, my whole life I've been
Yes.
okay, but recently one of my parents passed away,
And you came to a lot of money. Do you feel like people are coming for a payday?
Oh, for sure. Everybody
Not
got
me,
their hand
not
out.
us.
Everybody
We don't
got
want
their
nothing
hand
from
trying to
him.
We
get in
ain't
the
got
back.
nothing.
We don't want nothing
Everybody
from
trying
him.
to get in the back. Not necessarily,
We got
but I'm
nothing.
saying
We
she's
do nothing
always
but
had
help.
anything
That's
she
all we
ever
do is
wanted.
help.
She had it. She was
We
16.
help.
We buy her car.
We help with
She won an
everything.
apartment. She anything she want. We've always taken care of that. She didn't never need.
What
for
I'm trying to
nothing.
do is I'm trying to figure out I'm trying to get a direct line of distrust. that
Right.
is
Oh,
happening.
the distrust.
Because what is confusing for me is being there for 23 years,
Thank
claiming
you.
that I'm your father,
Okay.
Thank
and this is
you.
why I'm trying to track distrust because that helps me to understand where you are mentally and emotionally.
Well, Karamo, I can tell you this. So I had some things happen in my life. It brought me to the altar to be judged. And when I sat before the altar, everyone came up and was evaluated in my life. And unfortunately, there was multiple of my children weren't biologically mine.
Got it.
So that's what arose.
And this happened when?
This happened last year.
Last year.
Yeah.
So you've been in a process of trying to figure out what is real and what is fake in your
Facts.
life.
That's it right there.
Okay, got it. And so this
That's
this
not my
is-
fault. That you came.
Yeah,
you
I ain't
had to
saying
go
it's
to
your
the
fault, but
altar.
you know.
But you putting this on me. Like
No.
you told me since that happened, you start like I believe the
I
doubt
would've
was before
let it
then. The
go.
doubt I believe.
But it's just you
came from the
27.
phone
I
call.
figure like, if you was a small child or something, I would never, even attempt to go through this. That's too much pressure.
Well,
But
you
I'm
need
saying
to.
you
You
have
need
so
to
much to
before they
say
get
right
out.
here,
So-
but you
so-
never
so
said
for
all
someone-
of this
you're an
before.
adult. You know?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You could have said this. We could have talked about
Coulda,
this.
shoulda, but this it's happening right now.
Well, this is the thing here.
No.
I think it's time to get to the DNA truth of this situation. Darren, I have to ask you point blank.
For sure.
If this is not your daughter, what will this mean to you?
That's always my baby. Automatic, and
That don't make sense.
So will you still be in her life if this is not your daughter?
Of course. If she want me in her life, she probably gonna be over it after this little episode right here.
Now I'm going to ask you this. If this is confirmed to be your biological daughter, what does that mean to you now after the things you've said?
Nothing. I mean, it's gonna be similar feelings. I don't plan on having a change of heart or nothing. It is what it is. It's 27 years. Come this year, she'll be 27. And,
How will you make amends if she is your daughter?
I'm gonna apologize to you now and tell you that I didn't mean for it to come to this, but it's just necessary. This is time.
Shay, what's going on in your head right now?
Oh, I'm just emotional. I'm just all over the place. I can't believe him right now.
This is your truth to open, not mine.
Oh, you want me to open it?
Yeah.
Hurry up.
Okay.
You are not.
Don't go away and don't miss an unforgettable DNA test unlocked. Plus,
Recorded him having sex.
On our couch.
can this relationship be saved?
I unconditionally love my husband.
Or should they end it right here?
Have you thought about divorce?
And I just don't understand why you denying me now. Like,
Well, I'm
we didn't
saying-
even have to come on here for you
I'm
to
saying
tell me
there's
that.
so
You could
many
have been
things
said
up-
that, Dad.
She
I
said it
said,
3
you
times.
hurting me. This is hurting me.
Listen,
like,
love,
this
I
is
ain't trying to.
painful.
I ain't never trying to hurt you,
All
but
these
the
people
facts need to
looking at
come
me.
out. You need to know. I look at my grandbabies and I'll be like, damn.
Well, I
is
wish
really
you would
my
have said that
grandbaby?
before we got on this show.
Baby, don't cry. Let's get the test.
I think it's time to get to the DNA truth of this situation. This is your truth to open, not mine.
You are not.
You clown. You are a clown, clown, clown.
What did it say? What did it say?
You are a clown.
It said he is the biological father.
It says he is your biological
A
father.
whole clown. I told you. A whole clown.
I knew it.
I hate to even
take a
act
seat
like
for me.
this, y'all. I'm so sorry. You are a clown, though. For real. You can take
I
off the
wanted to
suit
hit
now.
you
Take
with
it off.
Taking a fine, no
Take it
fine.
off.
Need a red nose.
Real tough. Real tough.
Let me see it. So it does say Darren is your biological father. Okay. So it is confirmed here that this is your daughter. And I asked you both ways before. What are you going to do? This is your daughter that you've raised, and for the last 3 years, you've been hurting. Even on this stage, she said to you several times, "You're hurting me. You're hurting me."
And I'm pregnant. I just feel like I'm under so much stress. It didn't even have to come this far, Dad. You could have
Listen,
been
I was hurting too.
spoke on how you
know,
feel,
all the
but
speculation,
you the adult.
all this.
I'm
here.
the child. I wouldn't do this to my kids. You don't do that to your kids. You don't do that to your children.
I'm sorry that I had doubt. You know, I always knew
But you can't
that
even explain your
all my
doubt.
family
Like,
said,
it's-
you know, that one's yours for sure, out of all the other ones. And
So
I
you
always
just
knew
listen
that.
to
Some of the
people.
family only know her. Only know her.
And it's a jealousy thing too, I feel like too, because they were in a relationship. He was like, I was the only child that had him in my life. Like a lot of my siblings come to me and they be like, I'm the oldest, so they be like, you know, I'm jealous of you because Dad was there for you, but he wasn't there for me. I used to feel bad for them, and I still do, but that wasn't my fault, you know? But I'm blamed for that in the family. Like, oh, it's like, oh, she thinks she better, or she, you know, it's not like that. I got love for all my siblings.
I'm sorry.
Everybody, but he just, I don't know. I guess I accepted it as he was going through some stuff, and so this how he was dealing with it.
And I just want to tell you, I'm sorry. Can I have a hug? I'm sorry, love. And I didn't mean to put you through this. I just needed validation in my life that you know, that it was a
Hold on the platform. Hold on.
Sorry, love.
Because Darren, unfortunately, that apology is not going to be enough. What you just did to your daughter is you've broken her in a way that
I feel shattered.
I need you to understand the ramifications of what you've done. And I'm not saying this in hopes of this not being rebuilt, because I believe your daughter will get to a place where she can rebuild with you. But I need you to understand the distrust and what that has now caused in your life.
What about Tish here? You know what I'm saying?
It's always what about
It's
mom?
always what about
No, I'm
this?
just trying to
always
say,
what
I
about
get what you're
mom?
Your
saying.
daughter did not deserve what she has received in these past 3 years, and she definitely did not deserve what she received on this stage for the past 35 minutes. And that's what I need you to understand. That is just your action. That has nothing to do with Tish, that is you. And I need you to know that unless you really acknowledge how sorry you are and show action steps for that, you might lose your daughter.
I'll do anything for her. She knows that.
What do you need from your father to rebuild from here?
And smile about it.
I guess I just need him to be, supportive. Like I haven't been feeling supported since that phone call, and I don't know. I don't like the fact that he doubted me. I don't ever want to be doubted again.
I didn't doubt you,
I
bro.
don't ever
I
want
doubted
him to
her.
say like I'm not his child, because those comments were still surfacing.
Yeah. She said she needs support, and she needs you to not disrespect her mother in this way. And I know for you, you have your own personal feelings. I heard it with the minute you started talking about y'all's relationship. Unfortunately, that shouldn't bleed over to
I'm not making
It's
excuses.
real. Thank you.
You're absolutely right, and I love you so much, and I'm sorry that it had to come to this, and I just didn't know what else to do.
I'm gonna tell you this, I am glad that you came to this show because at least I could give you these tools so that you can go forward, so that this can be better. And I'm glad you got your answers. I'm sorry for what you've been through. I'm sorry for what you've been through. And I really do wish you all the best of luck. You got a good one here. Do the work for her, all right?
I was upset before I got these results, but He apologized. I'm gonna move forward. I feel good, honestly. I feel great.
Tish. I'm sorry. I ain't gonna doubt you no more. And my baby mom. And my baby mom.
I'm a decade older than him, so I'm 41.
She caught her husband cheating, recorded him having sex.
On our couch.
Can this relationship be saved?
I unconditionally love my husband.
Or should they end it right here
Have you thought about divorce?
and now?
You are the five. Get off my stage.
I guess Ashlee says her husband cheated on her with multiple women in their house, and it was even recorded. She wants to save her marriage, but doesn't know where to begin. So everyone, please welcome Ashlee to the show. Well, you're fabulous. You can have a hug? You're extremely fabulous. Oh my gosh, how pretty are you?
Thank you.
Oh, can I see these shoes? Yes, I love.
Thank you.
Oh, wow. Okay, so I read that. This must be difficult on you. So talk to me about the cheating instances that happened this past summer.
Going from the Air Force life, he was in there for 10 years, and previously married, to civilian life, into my life, being a single mom with 3 boys, was very devastating to him. And when I say devastating, that's an incorrect word. Overwhelming.
Okay.
I felt that he would have acclimated better than he did.
Why do you say that?
Because we connected. We were like, we are soulmates. He's an amazing, beautiful human. I just don't know if he was ready for my fast-paced world. I'm a decade older than him.
Okay.
So I'm 41.
Yeah.
He's 31. Our
Okay.
birthdays are 7 days apart.
Okay. What happened in July?
He started, so that was last July. For a year, until the July that we're speaking of, when he started cheating, he was drinking.
Drinking.
That was
okay.
his way of escaping reality.
Got
So July 14th, I hear a knock on my door, and it's police officers, and he put a restraining order against me.
He put one against you.
Yeah, he kicked the boys and I out of the house that I had previously bought prior to him and moved him and his kids into.
That's extreme. Was there something else going on in between that time? Were you two fighting?
We were we were fighting.
Arguing.
He would leave, arguing, fighting. He would leave. He would come back. At no point did I ever speculate that he would cheat on me.
So how many times did he cheat on you?
So it was 3 times with 2 girls.
Okay.
Unfortunately, with the first gal, he's not our boy. He's a 19-year-old kid that we allowed to stay with us. Him and my 13-year-old had walked in and recorded it.
Recorded him having sex with
He
another
had just finished on our couch.
So they caught video of him getting still naked with this woman also naked on the couch.
She had a shirt on.
She had a shirt on.
On
But
my
then-
couch.
Was that the first time you knew that he had cheated?
That was the first time he cheated. It was really challenging. We rearranged our furniture in our house. Like, I try to recreate this space in our home because the second girl that he did was in our foyer, and I laid the tile in that house. I literally built that house for the boys
He had
and I.
sex in your foyer? On your tile?
Yeah.
So you
And-
catch him cheating. He puts a restraining order on you.
He put a restraining order on me prior
Prior.
to cheating.
Okay.
And so I had to fight with the courts to get my home back because now my boys and I are displaced.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, again, this is a home that I had built for my children prior to meeting him.
Yeah.
So that was very devastating. Come to find out later, time had gone on and the restraining order was squashed. He still was proceeding to drink. He had left his vehicle running and his phone unlocked. But I saw some pop-ups of this girl. It was like, you treat me like a queen, thank you so much. And that was really heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And so I called her and she answered. And we had a great conversation. Honestly, she pretended, she's like, oh yeah, I see you all the time. I'm at the store and, I know about her boys and She never gave me any inclination that there was anything going on. They were just friends. But I didn't bring up the text message that I saw about being treated like a queen. So then I approached Brandt about it. And I kind of, well, I totally, not kind of lied, I totally lied. And I was like, this girl told me this, this, and this. And he's like, you're right, I did do that.
Okay.
And then I lost my
How did you reconcile after the cheating?
It's not easy. And that's kind of what I'm here for, because I unconditionally love my husband.
Got it. And you're back together now, right?
We are, correct.
And he's still drinking?
No. Oh, no.
He stopped drinking?
He went to rehab.
Okay. And so how long has he been sober now?
So he got out of rehab on September 15th. So it hasn't been very long.
So about 3 months?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, everyone, let's see what Brandt has to say about all this. So welcome, Brandt, to the show. Hey, thanks for being here. Yeah, great to meet you. Yeah. Okay. So how do you feel about everything that was just said?
It's the truth.
It's the truth.
Yes, sir.
So why did you sleep with these other women?
Her husband was a serial cheater. All the infidelity happened in the home.
When he tries to make out with me on the couch, can't do that.
She's hoping he can change.
Have you thought about divorce?
Can we help this couple in crisis?
My guest Ashlee says her husband cheated on her with multiple women in their house, and it was even recorded. She wants to save her marriage, but doesn't know where to begin. How did you reconcile after the cheating?
It's not easy, and that's kind of what I'm here for, because I unconditionally love my husband.
Got it. And you're back together now, right?
We are, correct.
So how do you feel about everything that was just said?
It's the truth.
It's the truth.
Yes, sir.
So why did you sleep with these other women?
I was self-sabotaging, and there was no want or like lust after those women. I just, not thinking clearly I was drinking heavy
Okay.
at that time. I mean, over the past time, even before that, there's times that I don't remember certain things, and so yeah, I just, not good decisions I would never make in my life, I was making throughout my drinking period.
Makes sense. So you're sober now?
I'm sober.
Congratulations. Yeah. So do you think these women were giving you something that you're missing from Ashlee?
No, not at
Nothing.
all.
Okay. So talk to me about this restraining order.
Well, she's a very persistent woman, like very persistent. And when she sets her mind on something, she goes for it. I mean, she spent hours and hours, probably at this time, weeks of accumulative research on how to help me. And I knew she wasn't gonna give up on me. And meanwhile, all I can feel is I'm bringing this amazing woman down. And so that's why I did the restraining order. Like, well, if she can't talk to me, then she'll move on and she'll be happy.
That doesn't make a lot of sense.
It doesn't. That's the thing. I wasn't making any decisions at that time that were making sense.
So how did you two get back together?
Well, communication a little bit, like talking about it.
Did she get upset learning new information? Yeah,
At
learning
times.
information.
Yeah, at times.
That is the truth.
So how have y'all been in this time period of sobriety? Are y'all still arguing? Is there any issues? Other than when you get triggered?
Other than we get triggered, no.
Yeah. But you get triggered often, which makes sense.
So when you say often, my often and your often might be different.
What's your often?
When he tries to make out with me on the couch, can't do that.
Yeah.
There'll be times when we're in the kitchen, because our foyer, when you walk through our front door, leads right into our kitchen.
Well, that's often for me, and the reason I say that is because I knew it has to be a lot, because all the infidelity happened in the home. So no matter when you walk through, it's recent.
The energy.
And the energy is going to be there. You're going to look and see that. It's up there.
It's a mental wreckage.
Yeah, it has to be. Have you acknowledged really what she could be feeling with this betrayal?
I have.
And what do y'all talk about?
I don't have responses or reactions. I kind of just, like, I'm trying to, because I understand, like, she's going to have emotions and feelings about it, and it's fair to her, like, she needs to get those out.
Have you thought about divorce?
Drinking and infidelity put their relationship at risk.
You're in I love you mode. I want you to be better. But I don't think there's enough time being spent on you being better. Can we help this couple in crisis?
I was self-sabotaging, and there was no want or lust after those women. I just, not thinking clearly I was drinking heavy.
So you're sober now?
I'm sober.
Congratulations. Yeah. Have you acknowledged really what she could be feeling with this betrayal?
I have.
And what do y'all talk about?
I don't have responses or reactions.
Have you thought about divorce?
We've used the word, which is, divorce is such a nasty word. And in my opinion, when somebody uses the word divorce,
Yeah.
I think of it as imagine the other person dying.
Yeah.
Because when you get a divorce, you don't get to call that person, talk to that person, they're gone.
Yeah.
And I already almost lost Brandt from drinking once. I had to call his family and tell him, like, we're not sure if he's gonna make it.
Yeah.
I know that feeling of losing him.
Of course, of course. But the betrayal has been deep enough that you've thought about it.
No.
You haven't thought
We
about
just
it.
use it in, I use it in like, just like, almost like threatening way.
I get it. You got to speak your truth. I understand what
Correct.
you're saying about the death and that it might not be a real possibility.
Yeah.
What I think I'm trying to establish here is that I understand that you want to be with this man. There's a protection of what happened and a protection of him that is not allowing you to actually have the validation of what you experienced so that you can actually heal.
That's what I want to work on.
Yes, but that starts off by here when I ask you these questions about like divorce. I'm not saying you want to get divorced. I'm not even going to suggest that. I see how close you're holding your man. So I know you are like, I lost you once, I don't want to lose you again.
Correct.
But you also have to be real with yourself of saying, this was
Oh, it's
hurt. You know, and I know you get spicy, and I'm using your terms.
Oh, yeah.
But the thing was that we called on the show about your betrayal,
right.
and I don't think you're acknowledging it enough. I think you let it
You're
build
right.
up,
Yep.
and you let it come out,
Yep.
and that's the unhealthy part,
And
which
then
you
I harbor it again.
and you harbor it
And
again,
then it builds up.
and it
then
builds
I
up.
harbor it in.
But the way to get over that is just to let it be fluid. If you keep blocking the river with this dam and then like the water gets backed up, then of course you're gonna burst. You gotta let those feelings continuously flow. Like you found your man. You didn't even find him, your kids found him, which cuts even a little bit deeper. As a parent, if my child caught the man that I'm in love with, there's a bit of embarrassment, there's a bit of a shame, there's a bit of guilt.
Huge.
All these things, and I know you felt that, and they're natural. And I don't think you're allowing yourself to let those feelings flow all the time because, again, you're in protection mode. You're in caretaker mode. You're in I love you mode. I want you to be better. But I don't think there's enough time being spent on you being better.
There's not.
I want to empower you to know the betrayal you're feeling, if you don't continue to let that stream flow of knowing that you deserve for your feelings to be heard consistently. Again, you're talking about 3 months ago, 4 months ago.
Yeah.
Then you will never get over it. You will always be triggered and they will always come out as outbursts. And when they come out as outbursts, you won't heal.
That's when that is what is happening right now.
I know.
I'm outbursting.
I
So
know. I know.
You have to allow me to do that.
I have no problem
And you
with that.
can't stop me when I do these things.
You don't call that little girl ever again.
I've always been the one
Don't ever
walking-
talk to her. Don't ever talk to her ever again. And the next time you see her wanting to talk to her, you say, hang up that phone. Hang up that
Well, I
phone.
actually did make him call her and apologize to her.
Yeah.
Yeah. I made him call her on speakerphone and apologize to her for being
And
kind
now let
of
me tell
drunk.
you what should have happened. Let me tell you what should have happened in that situation. He should have just been apologizing to you, and her feelings. I'm sorry. This is not her feelings in this moment don't matter to me. She decided to come into your home, where I'm sure you have beautiful family photos, to look at your family photos and have sex with your man. Her feelings don't matter. You deserve to start, in order to get over this betrayal, not worry about anybody else, not talk to these people. You've given him the support and love that he deserves and needs so that he can know that his woman's gonna be by his side. You've given him that. You've given him that, but now it's time for you to get that. If I can leave you with any advice today as we leave, is that I want you to start to practice allowing your feelings to flow and for you to put yourself first. And you deserve it. and the same grace you're giving him is the same grace you have to give yourself, and you have to be first.
That's what I
You
need to
have
do.
to be first. I appreciate you for coming here and allowing her to be able to talk about these things openly and having the confidence as a man to stand by her and not gaslight her, not, you know, you made your mistake, you're owning your mistake, and you're doing the work to get better, and I appreciate that. But right now,
I do want this to be about her.
yeah, good. Look at that.
All of it.
I wish y'all the best of luck. All right, everyone. Thank you for being with us. Come back next time, friends, so we can keep talking and we can keep growing. I love you all.